It's been the Ferrari show so far in this triple header in Austin, in Mexico, but now we arrive here in Brazil as we get ready to go racing at Interlagos, the end of this triple header, and this motorsport facility never fails to disappoint in terms of good racing. Unpredictable weather, the track's also resurfaced. This is going to be a very interesting weekend. It's round 21 of this championship as we go sprinting as well, and it is going to lead us on to a 2-week break, and then on the third week we will go racing in Las Vegas on the 21st to 24th November. Then it's our final sprint weekend. It's the penultimate round of the season in Qatar, and then Abu Dhabi is where we will hopefully see a champion crowned. Max Verstappen is in the lead of that championship. He's got 362 points, 47 points back as Lando Norris. If he wants to win this championship, it all starts right here, right now, in the sprint weekend in Brazil. Charles Leclerc in third, Oscar Piastri is in fourth, then it's Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton versus George Russell is going to be an interesting scrap near the end of the season as well. Perez in eighth, then it's Alonso, Hülkenberg, and Lance Stroll rounding out the first page. Yuki Tsunoda for Ricardo is in 12th. Then it's Kevin Magnussen, Alexander Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Oliver Behrman, who's raced twice this season, one with Ferrari, one with Haas. Colapinto continues to perform incredibly well. He's in 18th. Ocon, Liam Lawson trying to prove himself. And then you've got Joe, Logan Sargent, and Bottas also trying to fight for his seat, hopefully trying to retain his seat at Kick Sauber for next year. The Constructors arguably is going to be even more interesting. McLaren may have the lead. A few off weekends for Oscar Piastri has meant that Ferrari have really closed in as they have been getting 1-2s and 1-3s so far in this triple header. How will they get on this weekend? Well, we're going to find out very, very shortly. But they are in second place. Then it's Red Bull in third. Mercedes, Aston Martin, Haas, Ricardo, Williams, Alpine, and Kick Sauber are the only team to not score a point.
Let's take a look at the Autodromo Juan Carlos Palace as well. 2.667 miles, 71 laps ahead of us as well. 15 corners. In the dry it's challenging, in the wet it's unbelievable. This is a fantastic race. It's important to get a good run out the last corner then as you run uphill towards turn number 1 and 2, the centre S. Hard on the brakes then, flick to the left, downhill, back on the accelerator as you come round the Curva de Sol, a long sweeping left-hander, down the back straight then towards Decina de Lago as well. You've got open up your DRS, slam on the brakes about 50 metres to go, flick the car into turn 4, use the exit curb a lot, and then flat out up the hill as well towards Ferradura, 6th gear corner for turn number 6. Flick the car in towards the right, uphill section of the track, double apex as well before you come into the Super boxes. Flew in now, keep it calm, round the oranges turn as well at turn 9 as well. Turn 10 as well, a little bit tricky to get right on the brakes as well as you have to slam down all the way 2nd gear. Into Magula then as well as you drop downhill dramatically towards Juncao as well. Up through 7th gear, drop down to 4th gear, flick the car in again to the left and then back up now towards the last corner. You're flat out rising 6th gear, 7th gear, 8th gear as well. Flat out with the DRS open as you come across the line. In the old days you used to cut across the pit lane entrance, now not needed to, and that is a lap of Interlagos.
It is time for sprint qualifying to begin here on this Friday. We are moments away then from getting underway for sprint qualifying. It is hopefully going to be really, really exciting as we set the grid for the penultimate sprint of the season. Well, here we are then. We are all set and ready. This is going to be really, really exciting. Formula One right now in 2024 is hyper competitive. We've only had 1 hour of practice and we don't know who is going to take pole position. Lando Norris had a very near 2/10 advantage when it came to practice, but that session didn't give us a lot of information, as we also had Oliver Behrman in P3. So clearly a lot of unknowns going into this session. Right now we've got Josh T and Jess alongside me. Jess, welcome first of all to the commentary this weekend. Lando Norris, as I mentioned, fastest in practice 1. Do you think he can continue it into sprint qualifying right now?
This is a weekend where I feel like it's going to be very crucial for him, because he gained loads of points off Verstappen last weekend because Verstappen got 20-second time penalties. He's got to outscore Verstappen by a lot, and Verstappen is not going to give up without a fight. He wants to fight like he usually fights, so hopefully not like Mexico, and he wants to push to the limits. We saw that with Lewis Hamilton. I do remember when he used to fight with Lando Norris before the championship fight. It was nice and clean, but now they're on a championship on their hands. It's going to be interesting. But bearing in mind, we've got the likes of Lewis Hamilton, George Russell in the mix. We've got both Ferrari, so it's not going to be easy for Lando Norris.
Yes, it absolutely won't be easy for Lando Norris. And talking about those Ferraris, Josh T, they've of course they of course had a 1-2 in Austin. They had a 1-3 in Mexico. They do seem like the team on form, and it's going to be critical for them when it comes to the Constructors' Championship. How do you think they're going to be able to get on in this session?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely crucial for the Ferrari to keep their form for the remaining races of the season if they want to get into a battle for the Constructors' Championship with McLaren. It is definitely a possibility, and I think it can be done if Ferrari stay away from their Ferrari strategies.
Yep, absolutely. Ferrari seem to have recovered off that from 2022. So Fred Vasseur has made some good changes coming in to Ferrari as well, which is absolutely great to see. Now, a driver getting a lot of support this weekend, Franco Colapinto, and Franco Colapinto found himself 13th in practice 1, doing the most laps along with Charles Leclerc at 31. So let's see how he's going to get on in this sprint qualifying session. He is known to be very good in qualifying as Franco Colapinto. Before he arrived into Formula One, everyone who you talked to about who knew about Colapinto, they always mentioned his speed. So it isn't surprising to see that he can be very quick over 1 lap pace. So Jess, where do you think will be a reasonable target for Colapinto today?
I think, of course, P12 is Mr. Consistent for him, so ideally he wants to be within that range. So if he makes it out of SQ1, that will be a huge achievement for him. But as long as he gets into SQ2, he should be fine. But he really would like to get into SQ3. I think the last sprint that we had, he made it into SQ3 and did a fantastic job in that Williams, of course. A little bit weaker than previous weekends, but obviously Colapinto has been rumoured to go with other teams, and we know that Williams are open to negotiations, apparently, according to the media, so that's going to be interesting. But he's going to have a little bit of fun now. He's only had 1 practice session, so I would say he's going to get through into SQ2, and he'll probably get knocked out just for SQ3.
Very interesting to hear. Fernando Alonso found himself 9th at the end of practice. Lance Stroll in 17th. Aston Martin, it's really not been a good season for them as well. So and also they are now going back to the Japan spec. So they've had to go back. So it doesn't seem to be getting better for Aston Martin. So Josh, they're really going to be waiting for Adrian Newey coming in as well very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't think Adrian Newey can come sooner to Aston Martin. We will have to see what happens there and how much Adrian Newey can change that car as well. And, well, Adrian and Fernando will be a good pair, and I think.
Yeah, they absolutely will be. Fernando Alonso continues to hope and dream of getting that 3rd title. But a driver who's currently got a third title is Max Verstappen, and he wants to make it 4 by the end of this year. He's got Lando Norris for company, and this is where it really starts. Remember, in the sprint race, Max Verstappen's penalty will not be applied. So Verstappen gets to fight with Norris fair and square in this session. So it's going to be a really interesting fight in the sprint race tomorrow. And we're going to be setting the grid for it very, very shortly now. And we've had some very interesting sessions here. This is the circuit that really works well for sprint racing. So let's see how the drivers are going to get on in this 45-minute session. It's time for sprint qualifying.
One year ago, the skies turned dark here in sprint qualifying. Today, we have got just a 20% chance of rain. But the tarmac is darker. Whole new resurfaced Autodromo Carlos Pache ready to go. More commonly known as Interlagos. Round 21 of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship. The track here as well. Top speed at 347.4 kilometers an hour. 15 turns in total, 42.98 meters is the elevation change. Sao Paulo, Brazil, once again hosts a sprint race. Since 2021, it's the only consistent sprint on the calendar. Medium C4, soft C5 will be the tyres for today, but the rain is actually coming in, so watch out for the intermediates and the wets to be used as well in a huge surprise. Well, we're just gearing up for the start of qualifying. Alongside me in the commentary box is Josh T and Jess Ball. Jess, you're doing a me today. You're in a hotel room covering this session. That's exactly what I was like last time out as well in the season. What are you looking forward to coming into today, and what are you expecting to see when the lights go green?
Still when it's a sprint weekend, because excitement hits to 11. We saw Lewis Hamilton go from the back of the grid to win the race from the entire weekend. I think it has been overtakes up to 11 throughout the entirety. So starting pretty much lower down the grid may not necessarily mean that you'll get a bad result. You can try and gain as much position as you can with a lot of the ERS, but bearing in mind we got a lot of the resurfaced track to think about. It's still quite slippy, like you were saying, still a lot of chance of rain, and also they can't use the soft tyres in sprint qualifying until SQ3, so they get a taste of the medium tyres earlier on in the session, so we get a little bit of a suspicion on who's going to do well on the mediums tomorrow and who's not.
1 minute to go then, JT. As Jess said, mediums in SQ1 and SQ2, softs in SQ3, but that rain is coming up. Humidity now at 75%, track temperature 41.2, but it's just, you know the weather here. 20% chance on the radar. It can just pop up every second. We could be in for an almighty rainstorm.
Yeah, absolutely, and it has before. Look at the previous years gone by.
Yeah.
Last year, definitely. That was just out of absolutely nowhere. And, well, this circuit is famous for its own microclimate, just like some other circuits we go to around the world as well. There is Lando Norris in the McLaren getting ready, and you can already see the sky getting darker.
Yeah, it's visible now,
God.
coming into Ferradura. Here's how they'll work then. SQ1 is at 12 minutes, SQ2 is 10 minutes, SQ3 is 8 minutes. We have a break of 8 minutes between the two sessions as soon as the checkered flag falls. As the green light goes on, and we're underway then here in Sao Paulo for sprint qualifying. With that rain in the air, it looks like we're going to get a very busy track, but I think the one thing is, Jess, 12 minutes for SQ1. It's a busy session. They go out, click, click, click. Every second counts here.
Yes, it's not like normal qualifying where there'll be a lot of drivers waiting to get their laps in. They got to get their laps in from the get-go. Because of the resurfaced track, you never know where we could have red flags, stoppages, yellow flags, etc. So the earlier you go out, the better it will be. And you got to go with your gut feeling sometimes. We've seen how it could be an upset order if you don't get it right. Kevin Magnussen got pole position one year because it started dry, then it went to wet, and Kevin Magnussen went at the right time. And we could have another chance at sprint qualifying this weekend with that situation. So they really got to be on the ball from the get-go. There's certain teams that need to step it up a bit. We know Red Bull were focusing on long runs earlier on, so we don't know what their pace is. We don't know what the pace is for certain teams as well. Are there a few sandbaggers? Well, it is Haas where they are. Is Ollie Behrman going to be challenging up near the top 5, or will it just be normal top 10, missing out on SQ3 as well? I believe it's Ollie Behrman's first ever sprint format, because he's done obviously free practices, he's done the main race, and now it's his first experience in the sprint, Josh.
I think you're right there actually as well, because Baku wasn't a sprint race this year, was it? And so, looking at the calendar, Austria onwards, yeah, this is his first experience of a sprint race, which I suppose JT for a rookie really helps him. As Charles Leclerc's starting a lap time, he's heading down to Senior Delaga as well, or into the Retroposta down to Senior Delaga now. 18.585 is his first sector, but I suppose JT, this gives him a complete package now, doesn't it, as well, to really understand what the drivers will go through in a sprint weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, and if it seems like Oliver Behrman, there's a possibility that he does the whole weekend, just to give Kevin Magnussen a little bit more time to recover. And, well, in my opinion, I think it might be best if Kevin Magnussen misses the whole weekend. That allows him to reset. He's got a couple of weeks before the next round out in Las Vegas, and that is a massive race. And it's pretty tiring race as well, with all of the different timings of all the events as well. It primarily being a night race event as well. That's changes of sleep schedules and all that for the different drivers. It's all completely different going into a night race weekend, so it may be better if Kevin Magnussen just goes, has a break this weekend, and more importantly, that gives Oliver Behrman a lot more experience, and that gives them a full sprint race weekend.
First times coming on the board then, it's Charles Leclerc with a 1:11.654. He's the top at the moment. Stroll's done a 1:12.163. Sainz on a 1:12.257. Zhou's even in there as well as things stand. Bottas now P2, but the faster drivers haven't set their lap times just yet, i.e. Russell is now on the case as well. Down into turn 3 as well. Holds it through. Gasly does a 1:11.630 as well. He goes faster by 24 thousandths. So Alonso puts it up into third position, 1:11.742. Time's coming in thick and fast, Jess.
Yep, they are, and like George Russell, we just saw, he's going to have to negotiate traffic, which he did very nicely, but impressive lap time from the 2 Alpines so far. But again, track evolution is going to be key. We'll see what the team Mercedes do. Sergio Perez goes P1. We didn't see much of the Red Bulls in free practice because Verstappen has got a 5-place grid drop for Sunday's race, not for the sprint. So if he qualifies pole for the sprint, he's going to remain there for the sprint. Russell is looking a little bit better in the middle sector compared to the first sector. We're seeing more lap times go on the board for the likes of Alexander Albon, who's at 1:11.015. Could George Russell beat that? First man into the 1:10s, Josh.
Yep, and it's by a 10.5 to Alexander Albon as well. Lewis Hamilton is into Zhou up towards the line as well. And Hamilton in his final weekend as a Mercedes driver. Russell says brakes feel very poor despite sitting at top time. Norris fastest in the middle sector. Piastri's fastest sector 1. Hamilton second fastest, 1:10.958. And we welcome in Megan Burge. Hello, Megan.
What do you mean about the final weekend?
Well, it's Hamilton's final weekend.
Brazilian Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say.
In a country that's adopted him as a national Brazilian as well. This is his final weekend with Mercedes power behind him in a series where he's done so well here at Interlagos.
You panicked me, Josh. We thought it was going to be the last weekend as Mercedes driver. Like, no, it isn't.
Nah,
He's still got a few more races to go.
As a driver here in Brazil, his nationality of Brazil as well. Lawson goes top 1:10.576. Hamilton's only won this event, though, twice, 2016 and 2021. And 2018, actually. He's won it 3 times in his career.
2021, my favourite.
Oh.
Yeah, that was mine, too, from the back of the grid.
Magic is accidentally on.
Is that for Hamilton?
Yeah.
That explains why he was 88,000 down. He looked a bit bitter at his young cow. Piastri's done a 1:10.265. Hülkenberg up into 2nd position with a 1:10.466. On board with Max Verstappen, who's been announced having that 5-place grid penalty, but will only have it for the Grand Prix on Sunday, so it doesn't count for the sprint. But nobody thinks that Max Verstappen's going to win this weekend as he comes off with the Shootout boxes. Megan, what's been your take after practice now coming into sprint quali?
Well, my current take on things is that McLaren seems quite dominant, but also that
Look at the
the
rain.
Haas seem to be really picking up their pace.
Yeah, Haas go well here, but yeah, Jess, JT, look at that. That's coming in the second. We're going to have another wet session, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely a wet SQ3 possibly. Look at it down
Oh, wow.
at the centre. S is down at turn 1. 5.5
Look at our
minutes
repeat
left
of
to
last
go.
year.
I've just realised that our TV monitors have dropped behind by a few seconds, so I'll get that sorted now up here, because even our timing monitors are 2 seconds delayed, so something's gone wrong with the Wi-Fi boxes. Oh, and guess what? I haven't got the Sky data. We haven't got my Wi-Fi in the garage. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? To get it all sorted. It's so ridiculous. Oh, it's back.
At least we can see the pictures. That's the important thing.
Absolutely. I'll just get it back in sync so we're not 2 seconds back because JT's massively ahead. There we go. 1 forward, 1 back. Back in sync now as we see Charles Leclerc out of Magullo into Juncal. 5 minutes to go. You can see Megan, the rain. The clouds starting to come over. And the track's already dark because it's a new surface, but you can really tell how dark it's getting at the top.
So, this is Sao Paulo, right? I'm just going to check the weather for them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now.
Leclerc goes second with a 1:10.453, and Colapinto has had a lap time deleted as well, a 1:14.226. Here comes Carlos Sainz across the board now as well, goes up to fourth, 1:10.503. Amy, what are you thinking? Rain or no rain down there in pit lane at the moment? And who do you think is going to be the surprise elimination of this session?
Very interesting session so far. I think with the rain, I think we're going to have it similar to the China sprint qualifying earlier this season, where I think it's going to start raining midway through SQ2. So we'll have an early end to SQ2, but then SQ3 will start drying up, and then we'll have lots of amazing laps near the end.
Megan,
Oh.
you're British. You don't need to check the weather. You can just look at a picture and say rain or no rain.
True. I mean, it says it's going to rain tomorrow during this time, and
That's during the
I
main quali.
won't put it as rain yet.
Oh.
I mean, it's a bit too bright still out there.
Or Megan, do what Karen did in Mean Girls.
Very funny.
Yeah, I'm not
never seen
gonna
Mean
say
Girls?
too
I can't
much here because it's not watershed yet.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Very funny.
So the crowd, I'm watching them. They're in the covered area. That's where the commentary boxes are actually here in Interlagos. You can see where they are on the outside. So they're not getting any coats on just yet. The fans who are in normal areas are looking okay as well. You can see, and look at this.
Oh my God.
Oh, look, it's a line of ants.
Let's turn on the speedometers because look how much they are slowing at the exit of the pit lane. This is the fast lane, by the way. And Interlagos is not the kind of place to go slow. It's an unusual pit exit here. And yeah, right, line of ants.
I'm sorry,
They
but
have been warned by the stewards. They have been warned about the stewards about regarding this.
they
so-
should not be going the speed limit of a normal road.
What are they doing? Yeah, about 60.
30.
30.
I've seen.
Crawling out the pit lane on the speedo at the moment. And this is Alexander
Oh, one of the
Albon.
Williams is keen to get going.
What's Albon doing right now? He's up in 10th position. 5 kilometers an hour. 5.
Amazing.
I can run faster.
That's
I
probably
probably
just
wouldn't.
Welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen.
the slowest on record. 2 minutes to go. They're all banking on the last lap time, but they won't get out the pit lane quick enough.
Oh, 12.
Right.
13.
Behrman apparently has
12.
stopped on the circuit somewhere, according to, but he's got
16.
going now.
18.
Look,
19.
they're going so slowly. Gasly's dropped a pit exit. They're going so slowly. There's the computer's thinking that they've stopped on the circuit.
30. 32, he's speeding.
2 minutes to go, so it's Piastri, Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Lawson, Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Hamilton, Albon, your top 10. Perez, Behrman, Ocon, Tsunoda, Gasly. Then the drivers at risk in the elimination zone. Alonso, Bottas, Stroll, Zhou and Colapinto.
Hurry up, Colapinto.
The rain is closing in. It's just on the border of the circuit. You can see it coming down in the distance as well on our cameras up here in the commentary box. Hamilton on a lap time now as well as he gets through as Pierre Gasly down into the oranges corner.
Yeah, now I can
There's still
see.
people coming out of the pit lane.
Yeah,
There
they're going to miss it.
Now that I see the direction which the rain is coming, it is looking like rain, because that is kind of like misty.
8 kilometers an hour up to the south.
To the south, which direction are we facing?
We're facing toward. It's blowing towards us.
Right, so
Yeah, not going to go well here. Perez might
5
just
to
get
10
through.
minutes, 15 a push.
Perez is 3,000ths off the sector. Can Hamilton get himself secure? Yeah, he's up to 8th place now. 1:10.625. Wonderful helicopter shot.
Is it already raining?
I can't tell if it's spitting or not as well.
I could have sworn it was raining though.
Perez on the brakes in towards turn number 1, throwing on the inside line. Piastri still fastest. Perez second. Verstappen now to third. Tsunoda's the driver at risk with Gasly as well. Alonso trying to break through. He's in 16th place at the moment as well. It's getting too tight. Lawson is not going to do another lap. Lawson's in the pit. So's Hulkenberg. So unless they think it's raining out there, no spots of rain on the camera lens at the moment. Tsunoda goes 12th.
Colapinto's on his final sector, so he needs to get there before.
He's got Leclerc behind him as well.
Come on, come on, come on.
I don't think he's going to do it.
No,
Come on.
5 seconds left. Is Colapinto going to get across that line
Yes.
in time? Yes, he does. Just about. With about 2 seconds to spare. Alonso, the first
Phew.
driver to take that flag and goes up to 11th. 1:10.978. Alonso is through into SQ2. That's put Gasly at danger with Esteban Ocon as well in 15th, just on the risk. Ollie Berman in his first ever sprint weekend in Formula 1. Filling in. Can he get up there high enough across the line? His teammate Hulkenberg's in 5th. He goes 5th now. Gets ahead of Hulkenberg. Berman is a superstar in his third attempt of a Grand Prix. Gasly goes 11th. That's put Stroll out.
Norris purple.
Zhou Guan Yu again qualifies at the back, but it's Colapinto who's in 20th place.
doing
but he's
good.
on a lap time as well.
He's doing good.
Esteban Ocon in 17th. He goes 15th. Tsunoda's in danger now. Norris is 12th, but he's got fastest sector times. Can he take the top spot? Bottas goes through. Gets ahead of Ocon. Here comes Norris. Norris is going to improve up from 12th to 1st. 109.477. Fastest of the weekend. But to push Alexander Albon out, will it be his teammate of Franco Colapinto as he comes up towards the line? Albon goes third. Ocon is out of qualifying. Is Bottas and Alonso out? Yeah, Colapinto goes through. Out goes Fernando Alonso. And what about Yuki Tsunoda? No, he's backed out of lap times as well as he comes up towards the line. Wow!
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, once again, Zhou Guan Yu was at the back of the field, but for the first time, Valtteri Bottas is going to go through in a sprint race this year. He goes through in fine form.
Just.
Yeah, by, what was it, 10th to as well? Wow.
Yeah, a 10th.
So, out goes Alonso, Ocon, Tsunoda, Stroll and Zhou.
Alonso at least has an excuse compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, Tsunoda was really, I think that's a surprising SQ1 exit, to be fair. All the new guys go through.
Woohoo!
How great's that? Lawson's in 12th, Colapinto's in 9th, Berman is in 7th place in the end as well. Great stuff going on then. It's Alonso who's out in his 397th start. After 401st Grand Prix weekend, Ocon is out, Tsunoda's out, Stroll's out, Zhou's out once again on start at the back of the grid for the F1 sprint tomorrow morning as well. Not the way we were expecting it to go here, though, at Interlagos. There's your results of the first session. And Omi will put his camera on and we'll hand back down to the pit lane. Down to you, Omi.
Maybe if I can unmute my mic. There we go. Thank you very much, Joshua Birch. Well, interesting. SQ1 then. Lots of track improvement, but the question remains, is the rain going to come in and make the track wet? And if it does so, then that will mean a rush at the beginning of SQ2. You cannot afford to take any risks, but a great lap by Colapinto, Jess, at the end to go through.
not just a great lap from Colapinto, a good lap by both Williams. And we were worried that Colapinto was going to knock out his own teammate, but luckily both Williams did just enough to make it through. I think more than enough to make it through as well. And with one practice session, it's already shaken up the order anyway, with some people you weren't expecting to be knocked out, like Alonso and Tsunoda. Both Hasses making it through as well. Ollie Behrman, a superstar. Lando Norris setting a lap time, which is around about 7/10 quicker than anybody else. You already pointed out in the post show earlier that the McLarens were looking quick. Well, McLarens look like they could be the favourites this weekend, and the other teams will need to step it up if they want to beat McLaren.
Yep, absolutely brilliant stuff from Lando Norris there as well. But yeah, Behrman doing really well, continuing to be a super sub. He is really coming into whatever situation he's put in. He is really doing incredibly well. Josh, and I think personally, as you guys also mentioned, it would just be good to let K-Mag rest up and let Oliver Behrman do this entire weekend, because I mean, it seems like he's doing better than even Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah, absolutely as well. And I think I'm going to say it now, and you can say to me if I'm wrong, and you can say to me if I'm right. Franco Colapinto and Oliver Behrman will be in SQ3.
Oh, you jinxed it now, Josh.
Well, I absolutely agree, especially with Ollie Behrman, with how the Haas has come alive in this triple header. Lewis Hamilton down there once again as well. Same with George Russell. They were so they'll need to take a bit of a step forward, or they could find themselves out in SQ2. So an interesting session coming up for Mercedes. Let's see what's Tsunoda.
Man.
Okay, understood.
So no grip there for Yuki Tsunoda, who is beaten by Liam Lawson. The clouds continuing to come in on this circuit. Fernando Alonso also finding himself out, as he'll just be ticking off the rounds this season. And he's, of course, not been doing very well with his health as well. Had to go back to Europe, didn't he, Jess?
Yeah, he did. I think he was just feeling ill, like with his bowels or something like that. So he had to rest for a week or so before going to Brazil. I think he was lucky in actually making it into Brazil itself. Fair play to him as well. There's quite a few drivers on the radios that were feeling a bit under the weather, so I'm a bit worried going into tomorrow that if anyone's picked up the bug that K-Mag has had, because of course K-Mag was doing the media day stuff, but yeah, it may not just be the track only that they have to deal with, maybe some situations inside them as well, which won't be ideal as well. But it's not just Ollie Behrman's first sprint weekend, by the way, it's also Liam Lawson's first sprint race weekend. So I don't think any of the sprint race weekends last year Liam Lawson was in. So both Lawson and Behrman have done a very good job. And Lawson, of course, is trying to prove himself to get a seat in Formula One, rumoured to get the Red Bull seat.
Yeah, Liam Lawson would have done Austin, though, however, earlier this year with the sprint. The second one for
him.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah, we have like the 3 sprints in 6 rounds to end the season. But we've got cars making their way to the end of the pit lane, and that can only mean one thing. Let's head back over to Batch.
Thank you, Omi. Well, here we go then. Ready for qualifying number 2 then. Not sure what's going to happen in this session as the green light goes on, and we're underway for qualifying number 2 here. And rain is in the air, so it's going to be quite interesting. Let's just check in then quickly with you, Megan. What do you think is going to happen in this one? Who's got your money on for being the surprise elimination? Because that rain is coming in fast. Hamilton, the wind has picked up. Well, it's 6.5 actually, but it's decreased. But he's probably being told it has.
Surprise elimination. I'm gonna say one of the Mercedes. I can't tell which though.
Well, there's the windsock. Jess, what about you? What are you thinking?
Team LH are going to hate me. I'm dreading to think that it could be Lewis Hamilton that could get knocked out at his own Grand Prix. Sorry.
Started to get damp out there.
It is starting to get damp out there as well. We can see JT.
Lewis might prove me wrong though. Hopefully.
I hope he does, because otherwise we'll lose a lot of viewership.
It's one of them. Could be Lewis, could be George.
JT, what about you?
Hello.
What do you think? The surprise of this session?
I'm gonna go. Well, it's not really a surprise. Perez isn't.
All right, Perez might
But,
not, yeah.
As soon
Oh,
as
I
you
forgot
said,
about him.
as soon as you said,
I'm
it's not
gonna
really a
go-
surprise. I thought he's going to go Perez.
Perez,
Right.
Bottas, Gasly, Hulkenberg,
Oh,
That is.
and
You ever put any surprises? Oh, Hamilton. Okay.
Hulkenberg's a
fair
shock.
dues. Hulkenberg's been going really strong here. I think Behrman might go through. I've got the feeling he will. Big shock for me. I'm going to say I don't think Max Verstappen will make it through. I think he's going to wait. I think he's going to wait too
No.
late, and it's going to rain. He's not left now.
I
where,
heard that prophecy.
where did he qualify in SQ1?
11th, exactly
Fifth?
where.
I was going
it
to
says
say
8th. Can't remember.
Eighth,
SQ1.
okay.
Yeah, can't remember SQ1 to be fair. They go off our timing screens quite quickly.
To be honest, Red Bull have a
Well,
huge disadvantage because we didn't see what their short runs
Yeah.
were like, only their long runs, whereas all the other teams were practicing their long runs earlier on. So it could be maybe not one of the Mercedes that could be out, but maybe one of the Red Bulls.
Got a time as Hamilton's backed off on his lap time, so he's not happy. He's let Lando Norris go through, so LH is clearly not going to be
Right.
one there either. Megan?
Verstappen finished in 6th in SQ1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Hamilton 13th.
Oh, Wi-Fi. Oh, there we go. It's back now. It's just our internet connection through Ethernet has dramatically dropped as well. So that usually indicates that there's some buffering from FOM's systems to come in. So we'll see what we have. Norris coming up towards the line. If we do break up on pictures, it's not our fault. It's FOM's systems. Over the line comes Lando Norris. It's a 109.063. Again, Jess, faster and faster and faster.
That McLaren car seemed to be hooking up around this circuit. We saw Ferrari looking good in Mexico, but McLaren's 6/10 quicker than George Russell. And look at Carlos Sainz, another drive into the 109s. 109.5. He, of course, won last week. Oscar Piastri now goes across the line. Can he go on the front row in SQ2? No, remains third.
So now we've got Norris, JT, by half a second with rain incoming, and Max Verstappen only now just starting an outlap as we take a look at Russell at Zhongkao.
yep. And what has he done? Oh, it's gone a little bit wide going up the hill. Here's an off-board view of it. Did he go off?
He flew. Did you see the front tyre? And it's just inside
The
track
floor
limits.
must... I'm a bit worried about his floor.
Oh, look,
Yeah, good point.
Mercedes struggling.
Yeah, you look, Jess, you're right. Did you see that little debris flying off from underneath it? He's clipped part of the floor end plate. Jess may be on a laptop and may be in a hotel room, but she's got eyes still great on the ball. Over the line for Hamilton. Verstappen set the fastest sector 1, so what do I know? 7th only, 1:10.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's a 7.
That's not a good lap from Lewis.
Max is a 17.6. He is stonking ahead of the rest of the field. Perez, for comparison, 18.0. So he's not too bad.
Max Verstappen wins the sprint race.
I don't think Max will win any race this weekend. I've got.
Well, JT
I
is.
mean, I've picked Max
But
Verstappen.
I'm
I know.
here.
I know.
Well, JT was here a few weeks ago in the main race, and Verstappen didn't win then, so the curse is lifted.
True.
Did he join late though? I can't remember.
It was.
No, he was in the pits. We did through the field together.
Ah,
So keep
yeah.
him in the pits. Got it.
Verstappen. Look, I told
But
you. Second. He blew it.
But I did arrive late.
Yeah. If he's here from the start to the end.
He did
does
arrive,
it.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Perez only
Yeah,
8th.
you weren't here during the pre-show.
I remember I arrived late because I was like, I joined and then it was like, oh, Josh is here and someone's
I
down the
remember.
pit lane. Let's slow down to him. I was like, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I remember that. Yeah.
Thrown into the deep end, yay.
I think I might have to see if there's an update to OBS, you know, because my computer's having a right paddy with it. I think the font system's having a paddy because of the weather. Although, then again...
I had to try and catch up with what happened at the start of the race so I could do the through to field.
Then again, as JT knows, sprint weekends here at JBMotorsports historically have always been problems. As they come across the line, Albon goes in.
With all the ad problems.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you didn't see Jess, but the OBS software... Let's hear from Max.
Albon got behind Lewis.
Now the car doesn't turn. This week setting.
Good, stay on that setting.
That's coming through Justina Delago as well, coming through. Let's have a look
What was the problem earlier, Josh? You could explain in a minute, as Albon is probably at the moment up the hill. Oh.
Rear suspension
That's
wobbling.
not as bad as George.
That's a lot of bouncing.
More firework night.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Jess, what happened was, as a few spots of rain down in the pit lane, just to let you know, there's literally a few spots of rain down in the pit lane. It is starting to rain here, everyone, as Haas released their two cars together. So Haas very well synchronised. Right, what happened?
5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, what happened in practice, Jess, was that we played the intro, got through the intro, then your voice started booming out. OBS didn't save the change to the new file, so we had to make a new stream quickly.
Huh?
And I
So from the Mexico thing.
Yeah, OBS had crashed.
We still play the Mexico video.
Yeah, don't know
Josh
how.
doesn't know this, Jess, but I accidentally pivoted the wrong stream. So for like,
I saw that. I was watching it. I was watching it on the train.
yeah,
and I was
for
like,
10 seconds.
why is this stream privated?
Is that
Yeah,
why does it...
for 10 seconds the
was
main
there
stream was
extra
privatized. I
things?
was like, whoops.
What?
There's loads of extra things you had to get rid of on the stream.
I'm sorry, what?
Over there, like in first practice, I saw you clicking off a load of things.
No, that wasn't me.
No, because you said, why has this been left on?
I can't remember everything. Don't look at me.
It's all I can do.
Oh, that's why the Wi-Fi's going wrong. It's connected to...
What have you done?
No, it's connected to the... No. My iPad wasn't working because it's been connected to the wrong thing. There we go.
Ah, right. There we go.
Can someone switch that heater off?
By someone, you mean me.
Yeah, I can't bend down. 1 minute to go.
I've got to figure out the controls in my hotel room and how to switch the lights off, because there's literally no light switch. There's literally buttons instead.
Try clapping.
Yeah, there'll be a control panel somewhere.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that was Cambay Lame. Isn't Cambay Lame the guy who does the this is how you're actually supposed to do things videos?
I don't know.
I don't know. He says he's an influencer, but I've got no idea who he is.
I might Google it after this.
I've never heard of him.
Omi's probably now Googling to or somebody of social media stature probably knows, and I have absolutely no idea. Meantime, we're in course for this end of session. Ollie Behrman's looking really good. Oi! Yep, off he goes.
That was I think he lost a bit of time there.
Did I just curse everybody for Behrman? He's 13th at the moment. He'll get time to do another lap if he wants to back off, but ever since you've had Toyota
Hamilton's in the danger zone.
Is he? Yeah. I'd say, look, he's 10th, and Colapinto won't progress. Colapinto and Albon's pitted.
No, he jinxed. He jinxed.
Wait, what a minute.
Norris, Verstappen, and Sainz also in the pit lane. So we haven't had time for Behrman, Hulkenberg, or Lawson just yet. So we'll keep an eye on what they do with 30 seconds left of SQ2. Over the line comes Oliver Behrman. What's his gambit?
Hulkenberg 9th.
So that's a target to beat, and he's beaten him by a country mile. 5th place for Ollie Behrman at 109.629. If you can do that and be half a second quicker than his own teammate, what can you do in the future? Fantastic.
Lawson's looking good.
Yeah,
Lawson's looking good as he goes up to the line.
Flags out. Is it good enough? Lawson's 15th. Hamilton and Perez both out. Join Hulkenberg. Lawson goes 9th. Hamilton and Perez are going to be the surprise once again. Perez for another 3rd in a row. And Perez is out of qualifying. Perez is out.
Shock.
Hamilton's going well in the first sector. Perez radio.
No, we're not going to make it. So box.
Oh.
And it's goodbye Sergio Perez from Formula 1. He can't keep having these poor performances when the team need him most. Piastri goes 2nd, 109.239. Hamilton needs to get ahead, but he'll knock out Albon into Juncao. He's a 10th down on that time from Albon. And McLaren is looking strong, but not strong enough as Leclerc stays third. Piastri, though, on his last lap was reporting that he could have gone faster in the third sector. He's in the fastest middle sector, so who knows what can happen there. Hamilton misses out! 109.941. He misses out by 97 thousandths of a second to Albon's time. Jess, JT, Megan, all of you were correct. Hulkenberg's out too.
So sorry, Team LH.
Yeah, Jess.
I'm not.
We've had to move Jess to an undisclosed
correct.
location in London.
I knew one of the Mercedes would go out. I knew it.
Jess is Mr. Trickier, actually. Whereabouts are you,
I knew it too.
You've Mr. Trickier,
Yeah.
Jess. You could have gone to the F1 arcade.
I'm going to the F1 exhibition on Sunday.
Oh
right.
yeah, I've
okay?
seen that the F1 exhibition has been extended until March. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm so
actually
happy
get a
because
chance to go.
March.
Yeah, we're
I'm
going.
so happy because my mum and
No,
dad want to
March.
go.
So, end of the session, and Bar Colapinto.
Lawson.
Bar Colapinto, all of the newbies go through. Behrman 7th, Lawson 9th. Get in there.
Go on.
Excuse me. What is Colapinto?
Apart from
No, he
Colapinto,
said
all
apart
of the
from.
newbies.
Were you listening, Megan?
Do you want to turn your headphones up?
No. I like them how they are because you lot shout.
Right, I've only got 30 seconds to get this done. Hamilton's out, Hulkenberg, Perez, Colapinto and Bottas, and the drivers eliminated in SQ2. Right, let's head down to the pit lane then and join Omi once again in the post-show as we take a look at your top 10 and the riders going through. Down to you, Omi.
Thank you very much. As we see two major shocks, but at this rate, Perez is not becoming much of a shock. It is qualifying after qualifying that he finds himself out. But Lewis Hamilton misses out, and especially this triple header, Josh D. It's really been a pain for Lewis Hamilton. He has, he of course had that moment where he spun out of the race in Austin. Mexico, of course, he just about beat his teammate, but it's not really where Hamilton would want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 triple headers to round out the year. We've got another one starting later on in November, 21st to the 23rd of November is the next one, where we go Las Vegas, Qatar and Abu Dhabi to round out the year. That's quite a big triple header halfway across the world in 1 week. That will test everyone as well. We may see some jet lag, we may not. They may be able to get everything sorted in time, but Las Vegas to Qatar, well, I like how Formula 1 are going more towards being more regionalised with all of their races. Yes.
Apart from a few.
Yeah.
Apart from half the calendar, yes.
Yeah, and especially with how many breaks we have as well in this calendar. We'll be actually heading to one after this, a few weeks away, and then we'll be back for that triple header. So that will be really, really exciting, where we'll crown a champion. Second qualifying session in a row, if we count main qualifying from last time, that Franco Colapinto was not sent out at the end of Q2 as well, meaning that he has found himself out. Albon just about scrapes through, but Lawson, Behrman, both proving themselves, Jess. It's great to see these new guys come into Formula 1 and perform so great.
It's good for the sport. It shows that even with not much time getting used to the track with those newbies, they could still deliver well. Behrman only found out, I think, this morning that he was going to end up qualifying for the sprint. Lawson, of course, had more time, which made things, I think, a bit more impressive for Ollie Behrman, considering that I don't think he's ever raced around Brazil before, and he's done brilliantly. Let's hear from Lawson.
Don't worry, please.
And that was
So I'm guessing he was told by his engineer to focus there, Romy. But yeah, brilliant from Behrman. But Lawson as well, with a weekend where he has to prove himself. Well, he's definitely showing it right now, and he out-qualified Perez again.
well, behave yourself, don't say anything that you'll regret later stuff said to Liam Lawson, because I think if he got the response that it was Checo, you'd probably kick off. So probably the best idea not to tell him who it was as well. Sergio Perez does walk away, and Lawson continues to beat him, so he is really putting himself in contention for that seat next year. Carlos Sainz finishing 5th in that session, Charles Leclerc in 3rd, but it still seems like McLaren is the team to beat heading into this SQ3 session. JT, do you think anyone else is going to be able to spoil that party at the front?
Yeah, I definitely think we could, and well, one name that I think could spoil the party at the front, and no one will be surprised when I say this, because I've been mentioning his name literally millions of times this weekend and this season already. Oliver Behrman.
Oliver Behrman for pole. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, go on.
Wow.
Well, we've seen a Haas. We've
Why
seen a
not?
Haas on pole here on a Friday here in Sao Paulo.
And
so,
then,
you know.
and then
Don't
mess it
forget,
up
Ollie's in
that
K-Mag's
one.
car.
Yep.
Ollie's in K-Mag's car, and K-Mag got pole here once before in 2022.
Hopefully he doesn't mess it up on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are starting to have too much fun, so I think it's the perfect time to head back up to the commentary box so Joshua Birch can get it all back together.
Sorry, fun, what's that?
Yeah, what is fun for you lot down there as well in pit lane? So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, Obi. So, we're all set then to go for this first... What's going on with our OBS? I keep telling you that it's having a paddy. It's gone back now. Here we go. It's just going mad, Megan.
I said what?
It gone back and it showed, because Obi's turned the camera off, it was showing everybody else. But in like a weird dystopian art way. Green light! Away we go. It's past Halloween now as well, so it's November now.
But I am the Discord voice channel sound effects for when you join and leave in the Halloween. They're good.
I've turned mine off, so I have no idea.
Oh.
Megan's
Turn it
adjusted
on
my
just to
poppy.
see.
Thank you. Yeah, yours is fine.
Should we have our pick for sprint pole?
Norris.
Nice.
Megan's got Norris too. Jess?
I got Norris as well.
JT?
Norris Behrman, row 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that'll be
Ambitious.
brilliant.
Omi?
I'm going to agree with Norris Behrman.
I think that's good. Behrman, by the way, now on soft tyres, of course, because everyone's allowed. The mandatory tyre for this session is soft.
If
so,
you're putting a possibility for second, I'll put Albon.
Albon is so strong at the moment. Lawson's in here too.
Albon's strong in Brazil in general.
Yeah, nearly got his first podium here, of course, back in 2019, 5 years ago, before the accident.
Cough, Lewis ruined it.
When
Yeah.
he was back,
Cough.
Difficult weekend for me and Megan, that one. In fact, that was one of the few times. Yeah, one of the few times Megan was not in the commentary box for very understandable reasons, and one of the only few times that I didn't want to be in the commentary box, but I was glad I did. It gave us much needed relief, and it was a 2-hour distraction from the world for that weekend. As we see Lando Norris come in and Piastri in P2. So first sector there is a 17.952. So Norris's first sector 17.793. Just yeah, why not? Go faster. Even and if the rain does come in again, the wind's up to 8 points. No, 9. It's changed as I was speaking, Megan.
yeah, I was just seeing that.
Track temperature's now dropped to 36.7. We started at 41. And air temperature has dropped from 24 degrees to 20 degrees. Humidity's risen from 71 to 83.
Oh yeah, that's rain.
Yeah, pressure's moved up. Oi, up!
Oh!
Oscar Piastri wide and Jean Cal there, Jess, and nearly looped the car around as well. Did well to hold that.
He's not the first person to do that. We saw George Russell do that, and he lost a bit of Explorer M play. Let's hope not the same for Oscar Piastri. Still not the fastest time this weekend, what we've seen from McLaren. I know Lando can go even faster. Can he be the first driver to go in to the 1 minute 8? The answer is yes, 108.92. What a lap number, I could say.
We are 2 seconds faster than the time we set last year in pole position. That was Max Verstappen with a 1 minute 10.727. So that is the fastest
faster.
time. Well, cars are faster. McLaren are faster. New track surface helping out here, and the fastest C5 tyres. So you can tell 2 seconds faster already is insane. But if it rains, all the rubber that's been put down in the only sessions we've had today will be washed away, and this place will turn into an ice rink. Rain is predicted for Saturday. Huge rain predicted for Sunday. As Alexander Albon comes across the line, he's our only other driver who's gone out on the circuit so far and puts it third with the 1:10.078. So McLaren at the moment have a 2/10 advantage, 3/10 advantage between themselves, and a 1.1 second advantage between the guy who was third fastest in the previous session.
Josh, yeah, I think the one advantage of the rain coming is we're seeing cars actually go on the track at the start of SQ3. We didn't see that in COTA. So thank you, Brazil, for bringing in the rain.
There comes Gasly.
Gasly goes fourth and starts a lap time. Ed says, Jess, you can crash it at my house. Nobody's home apart from my brother, who is pretty ill and likes to be left alone. Well, that makes sense.
I've already got a hotel sorted for next weekend because they're providing it for me.
Oh, fantastic!
So, yeah.
Jess is watching EastEnders in the background. I love that background of the.
There are people in London that probably could tell what type of hotel it is, but I won't say on stream.
Yeah.
For privacy reasons.
Obviously. SS Racing says, I really like this new format of switching to the pit lane between sessions. So do we. It was designed because I'm still recovering, so it gives me 8 minutes in between the sessions to sit down. But we've all really like it, so we've just adopted it as the new format. And that's why we're going to roll around hosting.
We're going to keep it.
Yeah, so we're going to roll around who's hosting between all of us of here today. So yeah, Omi, Jess, me, JT.
So next time, it's probably going to be you, Josh.
Where are we next? Vegas, yeah. So Vegas, it'll probably be me. Because
I've got a guitar in Abu Dhabi. I'm doing F1. No, I'm not. F1 Academy guitar in Abu Dhabi. So I probably have to do Las Vegas.
Yeah, Jess isn't telling us what hotel she's at 'cause she doesn't want Team LH to come in through the door after what happened.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why?
Behrman goes on the lap time.
Why was one of Ferrari going really slow this time?
They're coming out the pit lane and they're trying to... Oh, actually, no. They're in John Cow and Magullo.
It was Leclerc.
Oh, Behrman was wide at turn 3.
He's going to back off.
Yeah, through the curve to start. He's kept his foot in it. I think he'll see the first sector, then back off. He's 8/10s down. Yeah, back off, Ollie, back off.
Back off, you.
He's not. He's still going, and he's still going for it. Cameron's dad, hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all good. What is happening to Hamilton? He just doesn't like sprint racing. It never does, and he's just getting worse and worse at the moment. But everything's recovering, going well. I'm recovering.
I think Lewis is going to do well in the sprint race. He usually does if he does bad qualifying.
If it rains, we're in for
he's a god.
Yeah. If it rains, Hamilton will win here. Not Max. Because that Mercedes is now in a position where if it rains,
Max won't win at all this weekend. Red Bulls are nowhere.
I'm going to say if it rains, Piastri will win.
Lando doesn't know whether to change. Lando's never been good at changing over.
Lando hates rain.
Yeah.
Lando has that rubbish starts in the rain.
I'd say watch out for Charles Leclerc out of all that as well in wet weather. He's always quite interesting and quite entertaining.
For someone who's British, Lando...
We've got like 3 different teams that could be in the running.
And we're not counting Red Bull in that, which is really bizarre. It's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes.
Sorry for Verstappen.
Behrman did lose his lap time, so we should have backed out of it anyway. Carlos Sainz goes third on a 109.257. How short is SQ3, you ask? We're already in the last minute of it. These are the last lap times. Leclerc goes into second, 109.153. Looks like Norris is going to take pole position, but Oscar Piastri, who has won a sprint race, of course, this time last year in Qatar, he was victorious in the sprint race when Max Verstappen became world champion on that Saturday night. Is it going to be Piastri's day here on Friday? Yes, it is. A 108.899, 29 thousandths faster than Lando Norris. But Max Verstappen is on a charge.
Lando's not going to beat that time either. He's on a slow lap.
No, Lando's done.
I think everyone's on slow laps because they thought the rain was going to come pretty soon, but it's not.
Where's Behrman?
Behrman's backed off.
Yeah, and he was in the last sector now, so Behrman's missed the flag. Behrman's going to start 9th. Russell, well, Behrman's going to start at the back in P10, but he's still out-qualified. Hulkenberg, who starts 12th. Checking flags out there. Norris has gone up into 2nd position. Gasly stayed in the pit lane. Down to Max Verstappen. Will he take pole position for the sprint race again? He's done it every year so far. No! First time this year. He hasn't done so. Here, well, this is unbelievable stuff. Over the line comes Russell. He improves up to 6th. That's it. Norris had pole in the China sprint. Then it was Max onwards in the sprint races. But now Piastri claims his first sprint pole position in Formula 1. And it's his first pole position of any kind in Formula 1 for Oscar Piastri. Never before has he lined up in P1. Yeah, he's had victories, 2 wins, but he's had a sprint win, but he's never had a pole in any class. It's his first pole position. It's his first sprint pole. Woo-hoo! I think I need to add a new thing to that for sprint poles.
Yeah.
Wow. Piastri has pole position for the F1 sprint. First ever. McLaren front row, who lead the Constructors' Championship. Verstappen starts 4th on the 2nd row alongside Leclerc. Here's Oscar.
That is everyone. Oscar, you are P1. Good job, mate.
Woo! Nice.
On the second one, he very much made
Nice. I love it.
He seems more cheerful at getting pole than he does when he wins.
Yeah. He's won twice now on 1 sprint. So he's on pole and can lead tomorrow. 17 laps ahead of us. It's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix.
He's jumping in his seat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss the sprint, annoyingly.
Firework displays began here on Friday night.
That was big.
Yeah.
Oh my God! On the train, I think it was either on the overground or on the train to London, we saw fireworks going off.
Oh, that's magical fireworks. We've got a great one this year that Megan's got. We've got our normal box, but then you've got, instead of rockets, you've got like a shoot box big crescendo thing.
Yeah.
I'll send you the fireworks from over the weekend. I'm going to see.
Oh, nice. Have you got fireworks for
Yes,
New Year?
please.
Including the
Think I did,
massive annual Brands Hatch ones, which are incredible.
You didn't think about the box when
We
you were here.
never... Okay, here's the thing. We never use the fireworks at New Year. Name a time in the last 5 years that we have.
Well, it rains.
Precisely.
You say they shout, you're shouting now, loud mic.
Yeah, it is my ears like, ugh.
We do not use them at New Year. We never, ever do. We always say, oh yeah, we're going to use them at New Year. But no, we never do.
Right.
Bloody hell.
There's really a lot of
Megan,
fireworks going
you
above
say
us.
that we shout a lot. That's very funny coming from someone like you.
That wasn't even me shouting.
No, when you shout, we have to turn the volume down.
Exactly. This is just my normal voice.
Let it all out.
What's bothering me is that she's forgot that she has to be awake at 2 a.m.
What?
for the qualifying session.
You never told me that.
Yay!
When I'll be asleep.
So
Final.
will I.
Anyway, I'll let Megan go now so that she can go get some work done.
Yeah.
Hi,
As
Megan.
fireworks go off.
Is it knocking on doors or something?
See you later. Right, let's head down then from our top three here as well. On the other side, we'll speak to Omi. So Naomi Schifrin into the top drivers. It's Piastri, Norris and Leclerc, our top three. Let's head down to Parc Fermé now.
Oscar, massive congratulations. You've won the sprint qualifying session for the first time here in Interlagos. Very different track to last year, resurfaced, a lot more bumpy. Talk to us through it.
Yeah, it was a tricky session. I felt pretty comfortable at the start, and then the grip was really coming up a lot through the session. And yeah, I mean, with the track this year, it's kind of it's hard enough to see where you're going, let alone try and do a fast lap. So it's challenging out there, but no, happy to have qualified on pole for the sprint.
A blistering lap that sort of took us by surprise. The McLarens, you guys have been looking really strong, but you put in a lap right at the end. Did you just have something extra in the bag?
I mean, my first lap didn't feel amazing, and I knew that there was a few places to improve. And yeah, the second lap was good, and the tyres hung on. So no, very, very happy, and yeah, excited to be starting off P1.
Tomorrow's a race, obviously sprint race first thing in the morning. Tell us how you're going to approach it.
I try and win. Obviously, that's the first thing. We'll see. You know, it's going to be a very different kind of sprint to last year. I think with the resurfacing, so we'll see what the temperature does, what the weather does, but starting from the best seat in the house. So yeah, we'll try and make sure it stays that way.
Awesome. Good luck tomorrow, Oscar.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well done, Oscar Piastri, as Karun was pointing out in...
Okay, that was weirdly done. We should have voted for the top 3. We didn't. Let's head down to Roman for the latest.
Thank you very much. Well, pole position, sprint pole for Oscar Piastri. Fantastic stuff by him. All the talk about Lando Norris, but it's Oscar Piastri who takes it. And, well, McLaren have said that they want 2 lead drivers, so it would probably be better for Norris to win tomorrow when it comes to the title. But how do you think McLaren are going to handle it, Jess? With them wanting to keep the 2 lead drivers approach and them not wanting to ruin the team dynamic?
I think we might get a bit of papaya rule situation happening with Monza, but they can't afford to squabble like this because they're leading the constructors quite comfortably. But Oscar's got to understand that Lando's still in the championship fight, and if they lose out on points, that's going to reflect badly on the team. But in the sprint, they're probably going to keep fighting anyway. The most important thing is they keep the likes of Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz behind Max Verstappen is starting in between the 2 Ferraris as well, so they got to make sure nothing can do that. And of course, Lewis Hamilton will be making his way through the field. We're seeing big surprises that can come up tops if McLaren's mess up, basically. So the McLaren's really got to work together this weekend, because otherwise they could lose out on a chunk of points to Ferrari.
Yeah, absolutely. While we've got the Drivers' Championship, the Constructors seems more realistic, and they are basically in the lead of it, with Ferrari closing in. So McLaren need to bring their A-game into every single weekend. Leclerc starts 3rd, Sainz in 5th, with Verstappen in between. Josh T, we've seen the Ferraris be very good when it comes to race pace. They were even quick in Austin when it came to the sprint race pace. So how do you think they're going to be able to get on a circuit which you can overtake?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can overtake here, more than some other circuits that we go to around here. And, well, the Ferraris have gone well around here sometimes, and then not well some other times. So it's kind of a little bit of 50-50 here for the Ferraris. Now, we mentioned this off-air. Me and Josh did. We were going to mention your shirt, Omi.
Oh, right. I knew where this one was going when you said that.
What have I missed? What's going on?
Well, Josh, would you like to explain?
Yeah, it's an Alex Jakes shirt.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
Why am I not surprised?
This time it's not a paper stuck on. This time it's actually...
No, it's a proper shirt.
It's got his name on there as well. It's got his name.
Oh, my... Why?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I managed to get myself that. So, yeah, fantastic.
I thought I was bad getting this framed.
Oh my God, Josh T, what the heck?
Yeah, he sent that to us as well last time out. So, well, once again, we're having too much fun. But if we compose ourselves once again, sprint race coming up tomorrow. And while a lot of people may not like sprint races, if there is a circuit it works best at, it is this one. So, Jess, how do you think the sprint is going to be tomorrow, and what's your final thoughts before we head into it?
Well, the sprint race always delivers around Brazil. We can see overtakes after overtakes after overtakes. It's all about getting that run into the first corner absolutely perfectly. The center S can be an absolute nightmare. So Lando Norris has got to really think on his feet. But for the others, they're going to get a nice toe, so they could probably make loads of different positions as well. I would expect some people being very brave to go on the sauce. We saw that with one of the Mercedes drivers last year, but that didn't go very well, did it? So I would strongly suggest that they'll probably go on the mediums for the sprints. It's a more durable tyre, and they can still push right at the end, whereas the softs, they'll have to conserve a little bit. So in my opinion, medium tyres will be the way to go for the sprint tomorrow.
Josh T, what are your final thoughts from this sprint qualifying, and then of course heading into the sprint race tomorrow?
Good sprint qualifying, a couple of surprises, maybe jinxed by myself and maybe predicted by Jess, but yeah, a overall good sprint qualifying session. I'm surprised it didn't absolutely tip it down with rain, to be fair. Maybe we'll get more tomorrow as well. well, it's meant to be wet over the next couple of days, and with this new track surface, well, anything is possible, and anything can happen, and anything does normally happen here at Brazil. Looking to tomorrow, as I said, and as I mentioned, the weather, but we've got a couple of drivers that are looking to progress through the sprint race. Of course, the sprint no longer... we've got a separate qualifying. It no longer tells the grid for the main race as well. It's completely separate, just extra points up for grabs, which could help in the Constructors' Championship with how far a couple of Red Bull, well, a certain Red Bull driver is down the grid.
Absolutely. Well, it didn't chuck it down today. It could be a completely different story tomorrow when we go sprinting. But one thing that is guaranteed, whether it's dry, whether it's wet, we are going to be in for a very interesting sprint race. The McLarens look out the front row. Are we going to get Monza all over again? Or are they going to have a little team talk before the sprint race and take it easy and think about both championships? Well, you'll have to join us tomorrow to find out when we go sprinting at Interlagos. Goodbye.